Hi everybody, tonight's video will be some baby booties made on Sentro 40 needle. First we cast on the machine by starting by the black needle, go in front and the back of each needle for the first row. Right now I'm using some waste yarn. Why waste yarn? Because it will help to catch all the stitches at the end of the pattern. So make sure you put that in the yarn feeder, and you will go with at least 5 rows of waste yarn. When your waste yarn is done, you put that in the middle and you bring your yarn project. So I will prepare my stitch marker because there's no counter on this one, so I need 2 stitch markers. So I start with my white, put that in front of the needle, and then I crank. Don't attach those 2 tails together because you have some waste yarn and your project yarn, so you don't want to attach your project yarn. Push it a little bit and then you crank. Don't worry, I will give you all the recipe for this little booties during the video. It will be right on the screen. So I crank with the white, and I use some Bernat Premium Sparkle White. So I do my 10 first row, put my stitch marker, cut my white, put the white in the middle, bring the red, put that on the back of the needle, not on the back but in front of the needle, and then you attach those 2 together because they are your working project yarn. So now I will crank for another 10 row before I put another stitch marker. So I keep track like this because there's no way I could put that on a paper. I always forgot, so that way I'm okay. So if you're in newbies, you'll be learning a lot in this video. Doesn't look like it, but simple project usually has some knowledge to get. So put the stitch marker, and I will do another 10 rows of red. And the red is a regular Bernat Premium red. So I will crank it. Till I get 10 rows of red. Like this. So time to cast off. I will cut the red yarn and put that in the middle and bring my yellow waste yarn and just crank. I'm holding it, make sure that the machine grabs the stitches, and then I will crank till I run out of waste yarn, and it will release it by magic. You will see, it's funny. Voila! So always when you get stuck, don't worry about that. Be careful not to lose any stitch. Put your machine aside. So the recipe was 5 waste yarn, 10 white, and 20 red. Put that in your notebook. Very important to keep that close to your machine. So you got 10 and you got 12, not 12, but 20. So I will go and find the tail of yarn, and we'll go and attach in the opposite way, and I will use a hook number 4 or number 5. Use what you're comfortable with. So I will close it. So grab the one in the middle, go in the right and go in the left, and I will grab all the stitches one by one like this to close my tube. That will create a rectangle, not a rectangle, a square. put that a little bit faster because I think you understand that you need to get all the stitches to prevent some drop stitch. So I continue like that, like this, there. When I will reach, I will slow it down like this. Very important to grab all the stitches. There. Almost finished. And the tail will be used to close the row. Remove this one. Sometimes it's not easy to grab all the stitches, but you have to take your time because it's not fun when you get the drop stitch in the middle of it. So I close it, pull it, and I will remove the waste yarn. For the waste yarn, that was the easiest part. There's always a harder side to remove the waste yarn. So we close the other side, and I will go a little bit faster too in the middle of it, because I think you get it. You already did the other side. Those little booties will be for my grandchild, Ariel. I could imagine her already with this on her feet. I will give it to her for Christmas to put with her special PJ for Christmas. So I will go and grab all the stitches just like I did on the other side. I will slow it down at the end of the row, don't worry. And then I will remove the waste yarn. For waste yarn, I always use the yarn that not really work on my machine. Like this one, if you go like 10 rows with this one, it starts to skip. So I only use it for the waste yarn, and I keep that little yellow yarn for other time. But this time it gets stuck. I think I will have to cut this one because the yarn has divided and it's stuck over there. So I don't want to lose any. Usually I don't do that. Promise I keep the yarn, but this one will be in the garbage under my table. So I remove all that, and then I will eye those little tail of yarn and remove my stitch marker. Could keep that for another project too. It's a nice way to recycle your yarn. But double knot here, and ISO still in the white like this, and do the same thing on the other side. Click. So time to fold it to create like a triangle. I will have to cut this, stretch, and then I will go and sew it, and then I will fold it like this, and you will have a nice little booties. So it's nothing very fancy to do the sewing. I just go one side and bring it to the other side, and I will come back on my my work, so it will be double so it will be secure to stay together. There. So I continue. We'll do like a little bit faster, but it's very important to attach those two together all the way. Like this. And I just grab, I don't know if you see it, but with the tip of my needle, I just grab the stitch that is on the edge. I'm not sure if I say that correctly, but just the first one, so that way it will be more comfortable for the baby feet. but not be too thick under the feet. So I arrive in the heels, and then I will go and up, and I continue the same thing. Very easy. And I will go like this for at least 8 to 9 rows. Make sure that the feet is having a lot of room to get in, and that way it will stay in the feet too. You don't want it to be loose by the kids. You want the kids to be comfortable with it. So I come back on my sewing again till I reach the toe part, and I will attach those two little strands together and hide it in the double layer. Like this. Stretch it. I don't have my grandkids here, so we'll use a little mannequin feet that I have here. There, I flip that the other side. Very cute. We'll cut the excess, or no, not cut. I will just hide it in the slippers, the booties, and voila, it's done. I will put that on the little mannequin. It will be just fine. Hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will do another video for next week. I try my best to do once a week, so don't forget to come and check. Ciao ciao. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, it's like 9 rows here. So I stop the sewing there, so you have a lot of room to put the little feet in it. So ciao ciao. Merry Christmas everybody. Ciao ciao. Ciao ciao. Ho ho ho.